Warning, warning. Okay, I pull up, hop out at the after party. You and all your friends, yeah, they love to get naughty.
Hello and welcome back to Discovering Halloween!
Oh, I'm so scared, I'm scared.
I'm a vampire! I've killed thousands for my own ambitions.
I'm so scared, Tanhony.
Were you scared of my ambitions? Well,
yeah, I am. How far will you go?
I sacrifice.
Jesus Christ. Fuck.
Darnell, how have you been over the last week? You've just been whining off recording, so tell them about it.
What? That's not even close to true.
He started squealing and screaming down the mic. It was embarrassing.
I've had some ups and downs this week in my life.
In all seriousness,
I don't want to talk
we're all
about...
fighting our own battles.
What?
We're all fighting our own battles.
So true. I don't want to talk too much about the personal things in my life, but they've been very up and down. But more importantly, in SCP news, we need to first. Last week, I believe Anomalous put something in, but I forgot to mention Anomalous put out. What is going on right now? Hold on. Like every 2 seconds, my Discord keeps fucking telling me my webcam mic, but I do not want to do my webcam mic. Anyway, I'm echoing in your mic as well, Tanhony.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Okay, sorry, I totally interrupted. I'm so sorry, Anomalous. So he put something in, I believe, last week, but I will say again, Anomalous made a new. I don't know what they're called, like the motion animated videos, where it's like little animatics, and it's like SCP themed, and it's got music in the background, and it's really, really cool. He did an amazing job. He's been working on it for a super long time, and it came out like super awesome. So Tanhony, please put a link in the description for that this week. Anomalous, you can flash it up on the screen as well, and everyone, you guys should go check it out.
Flash it as fast as possible. I want some of these guys to have seizures.
Oh yeah, that's true. Flash warning. There's flashes. I don't know if any of them.
There might be flashes.
I think Anomalous put a warning in the video, so I think we're good. But yeah, he's been helping us with our editing for so long, and like we're not just saying this too because he's been a help to us. Like it's actually a really good video. You should go watch it. I enjoyed it, and I don't even like SCP. I just pretend to. But it was fun.
I actually have like people who write my SCPs for me. I'm more of a business than a writer. I'm like
ghostwriting SCPs, ghostwriting fucking niche internet fiction, so you can get like 50 upvotes and then be like, guys, I just hit 50 upvotes on Twitter. Oh my god. But no, yeah, it's awesome. Also, if you're a DSCP head, let us know if you're able to find the 2 DSCP references in the video. There are 2 of them, and if you find them, you win a prize.
If you find them, I'll find you.
Yeah, find them or Tanhony will find you. The prize is getting
find them and I will find you.
Jesus. All right.
You better not look too closely.
What else is going on? I think there's a Halloween contest right now on the wiki, but I don't really know the details.
Is this real news or fake news? You can say. But I've not been on the wiki. Oh, there is the Halloween con. There you go.
Yeah. How the fuck do I know more about what's going on than you? What happened?
Make sure to have a look at Halloween con. I don't know what the rules are. Check it out.
Halloween con SCP. I'm looking it up right now. All right, Halloween con 2022. Okay, I was gonna read like a TLDR, but they do not have that on here. It's just
check it out.
It's a lot. Okay, go to scp-wiki.wikidot.com.
It's on the front page. Just go to the SCP Wiki.
/Halloween-con-2022. Why are you talking over me reading
because we got fucking crappy poopses we need to read.
Crappy poopses. The worst part about the SCP Wiki is every single fucking time I open a goddamn tab, it logs me out. It's insane that happens every time.
My dog's sleeping because this podcast is so boring.
All right, you know what? I'm still not done with news. Fuck you. I'm trying to log into the wiki, even though we're not going on today.
Why?
I don't know anymore.
You've logged into Creepypasta Wiki, right?
In other news, God, there was something else I was going to talk about. Fuck, what was it? Oh well, it's gone. Whatever. Let's move forward. What are we reading today?
We have 3 Creepypasta. So we're going to begin with one of my personal favourites, Dead Bart.
Dead Bart? I actually don't know if Oh wait, no, I've
You don't know Dead Bart?
I've heard of this one, but I've never read it.
Okay, I'm excited then.
I very much recognize that image, though.
I think that's from an actual episode. That's probably why.
Maybe.
Okay, I'm going to get right into it then. This is one of my favourites.
Alright, let's read about Dead Bart. I love Bart. I hope nothing happens to him.
You know how Fox has a weird way of counting Simpsons episodes? They refuse to count a couple of
that's
them.
how you know this is outdated, because now Disney owns Simpsons.
They refuse to count a couple of them, making the amount of episodes inconsistent. The reason for this is a lost episode from Season 1. Finding details about this missing episode is difficult. No one who is working on the show at the time likes to talk about it. From what has been pieced together, the lost episode was written entirely by Matt Groening. During production of the first season, Matt started to act strangely. He was very quiet, seemed nervous and morbid. Mentioning this to anyone who was present results in them getting very angry and forbidding you to ever mention it to Matt. I first heard of it at an event where David Silverman was speaking. Someone in the crowd asked about the episode, and Silverman simply left the stage, ending the presentation hours early. It's like in Facade when you say melon. It's like, alright, I think it's time for you to leave.
Yeah, what is this? It's like everyone's just like, oh, come on, dude.
Stop asking about Dead Bart. The episode's production number was SG06. The title was Dead Bart. The episode labelled SG06 Moaning Lisa.
It's not. That's not an S. That's a 7. What the fuck are you doing?
That's what I said.
No, you keep saying S.
I said S7.
No. What?
New World Order.
Okay.
The episode labelled 7G06 Moaning Lisa was made later and given Dead Bart's production code to hide the latter's existence.
I don't understand this anymore.
Well,
what is this idea of like hiding your fucked up episode? It's doubly weird too.
Why do you even make it?
There are plenty of fucked up episodes of shows that are just on TV that are usually worse.
What if it was just like really bad and that was the ending?
Yeah,
it's like embarrassing.
It's just bad end.
No, it just mean like it's really poor, a really bad episode. Like they're embarrassed about it.
It didn't. It's like when an SCP author posts an article and it didn't get enough upvotes and they delete it. Matt Groening was like, "This one's not getting enough ratings, so we have to delete it." Take it off.
In addition to getting angry, asking anyone who is on the show about this will cause them to do everything they can to stop you from directly communicating with Matt Groening.
Is he the SCP? Or fuck the creepy pasta? What do you
At a fan event, I managed to follow him after he spoke to the crowd, and eventually had a chance to talk to him alone. He was just leaving the building. He didn't seem upset that I had followed him. Probably expected a typical encounter with an obsessive fan. When I mentioned the lost episode, though, all colour drained from his face and he started trembling. When I asked him if he could tell me any details, he sounded like he was on the verge of tears. He grabbed a piece of paper, wrote something on it and handed it to me. He begged me never to mention the episode again. The piece of paper had a website address on it. I would rather not say what it was, for reasons you'll see in a second.
He wrote it out all the way like HTTPS colon.
The scrawled in blood. I entered the address into my browser, and I came to a site that was completely black, except for a line of yellow text, a download link. I clicked on it, and the file started downloading. Once the file was downloaded, my computer went crazy. It was the worst virus I had ever seen. System restore didn't work. The entire computer had to be rebooted.
This written by a guy who knows nothing about computers.
Real.
System restore didn't work.
Aren't those the opposite in terms of like severity of measures?
Yeah, so system restore is like you switch your computer back to a previously set point, and it's like it copies like how the files and everything was laid out at that point. A reboot is just turning your computer off and on.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I assume they meant like I assume they meant like a factory wipe or something.
Yeah. Before doing this, though, I copied the file onto a CD. Like, what did this virus actually do? It was the worst virus he'd ever seen.
I don't know.
It doesn't seem to like impeding his ability to like copy files.
It put dead Bart all over your computer. You can click on anything.
I tried to open it on my now empty computer, and as I suspected, there was an episode of The Simpsons on it.
Hold on.
The episode's...
Time out.
What's up?
You copied... So the file gave you a virus. You copied the file, but now when you open the file, it's just an episode of The Simpsons.
Mysterious, isn't it?
Well, that doesn't make any sense!
It's a mystery. This is what did Matt Groening ruined his computer. The episode started off like any other episode, but had very poor quality animation. If you've seen the original animation for Some Enchanted Evening, it was similar, but less stable. The first act was fairly normal, but the way the characters acted was a little off. Homer seemed angrier, Marge seemed depressed, Lisa seemed anxious, Bart seemed to have genuine anger and hatred for his parents. The episode was about the Simpsons going on a plane trip. Near the end of the first act, the plane was taking off. Bart was fooling around, as you'd expect. However, as the plane was about 50 feet off the ground, Bart broke a window on the plane and was sucked out. At the beginning of the series, Matt had an idea that the animated style of the Simpsons world represented life, and that death turned things more realistic. This was used in this episode. The picture of Bart's corpse was barely recognisable. They took full advantage of it not having to move and made an almost photorealistic drawing of his dead body. This is like a Simpson, like a SpongeBob episode when they had the close-ups.
The funny thing is, like, now in 2022,
this
that just sounds...
Banger.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that just sounds like a meme that someone would make. It's like a really, like, detailed drawing of, like, him getting sucked out of a plane, then a really detailed drawing of, like, his fucked up corpse. That would just be, like, a meme on YouTube.
Act 1 ended with that shot of Bart's corpse. When Act 2 started, Homer, Marge and Lisa were sitting at their table crying. The crying went on and on. It got more pained and sounded more realistic. Better acting than you would think possible.
Wait, what?
The animation started to decay even
You can't
more
even imagine
cried.
how good the acting was.
And you could hear murmuring in the background. The characters could barely make out. They were stretching and blurring. They looked like deformed shadows with random bright colours thrown on them. There were faces looking in the window, flashing in and out, so you were never sure what they looked like. This crying went on for all of Act 2. I can see why it's never heard. It's really boring. Act 3 opened with a title card saying 1 year had passed. Homer, Marge and Lisa were skeletally thin and still sitting at the table. There was no sign of Maggie or the pets. They decided to visit Bart's grave. Springfield was completely deserted. As they walked to the cemetery, the houses became more and more decrepit. They all looked abandoned. When they got to the grave, Bart's body was just lying in front of his tombstone, looking just like it did at the end of Act 1. The family started crying again. Eventually they stopped and just stared at Bart's body. The camera zoomed in on Homer's face. According to summaries, Homer tells a joke at this part, but it isn't audible in the version I saw. You can't tell what Homer's saying. The view zoomed out. What do you think the joke was?
I don't know.
The view zoomed out as the episode came to a close. The tombstones in the background had the names of every Simpsons guest star on them. Some that no one had heard of in 1989. Some that haven't been on the show yet. All of them had death dates on them. For guests who died since, like Michael Jackson and George Harrison, the dates were when they would die. The credits were completely silent and seemed handwritten. The final image was the Simpsons family on their couch, like in the intros, but all drawn in hyper-realistic, lifeless style of Bart's corpse. A thought occurred to me after seeing the episode for the first time. You could try to use the tombstones to predict the death of living Simpsons guest stars, but there's something odd about most of the ones who haven't died yet. All of their deaths are listed as the same dates.
Does this imply that Matt Groening's going to go on like a serial murder spree, or that there's
like
an apocalypse? Or there's an apocalypse? Yeah, why was he so... I don't know if it's like implying that Matt like is a prophet that wrote this, like created this, or if like this created itself through him. I don't know, but Dead Bart. That's funny because Dead Bart's barely a part of the actual story.
He's dead. What's he gonna do?
Yeah, he's just fucking dead.
I can't believe Bart's fucking dead.
Dude, no wonder they didn't air this. It sounds like the most boring episode of all time. I don't know. How would you rate this?
10 Dead Barts out of 10. This is a classic.
I guess so. Certified classic. What is that image from, though? That's not him, like, in photorealism.
I love the cards. Okay, the ending is the best ending of any creepypasta. There's also an Amori gift.
That was in 2022. What the fuck?
What was Aubrey doing here?
If the image is Bart, why is he wearing Homer's clothes? Got him. Because it's Homer.
I kind of wish this actually happened. Not that I want Bart to die, but I want something dark to happen, other than Mr. Burns getting shot or something. I don't know.
Fuck. Who are the people that read
You
these?
know, I'm pretty sure the picture at the top of this is actually Homer, not
It is.
Bart. Actually.
Also, why? What is with like old creepypastas and photorealistic? It's always
so scary.
photorealistic. I guess. I don't know. All right, what's the next one you got for me, buddy?
This one is one I believe you linked to me. This is my dead girlfriend keeps
Yes.
messaging me on Facebook.
I remember
what
this
happens
one
in this
being
one.
a banger.
This is like a light novel title.
Yeah.
My dead girlfriend keeps messaging me on Facebook and I'm in another world?
All right, when we have to read the scripts, you should be Emily.
Okay, because I read the last one. Can you read this one?
Yeah.
This one's short.
Fucker. My girlfriend Emily died on August 7th of 2012.
I don't know what that noise is made. I was like fucking Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. I just received another message, and it's worse than the others. She was involved in a 3-car crash driving home from work when someone ran a red light. She was dead within minutes at the scene. We had been dating for 5 years at that point. She wasn't big on the idea of marriage. It felt archaic, she
Almost a
said.
third
It
of
gave
my
her a
life.
weird vibe. What'd you say?
Almost a third of my life.
Oh my god. You're only 15? Yeah. But if she had been, I would have married her within 3 months of our relationship. She was vibrant, the kind of girl that would choose dare every time. She was always happy when camping, but a total technophile, too. She always smelled like cinnamon. Okay. That being said, she wasn't perfect.
Imagine being so cruel and be like, down bad.
Yeah.
She's a dead girlfriend.
Down bad patrol. She always said something.
Morning.
This guy's a simp. Simping a corpse. She always said something along the lines of,
Simping dead Bart.
Simping dead Bart! That's weird. She always said something along the lines of, if I cark it first, don't just say good things about me. I've never liked that. If you don't pay me out, you're doing me a disservice. I've got so many flaws, and that's just another part of me. So this is for M. The music she said she liked and the music she actually liked were very different. Her idea of affection was a side hug. She had really long toes like a chimpanzee. I know that's tangential, but I don't feel right without you having an idea of what she was like. Em had been dead for approaching 13 months when she first messaged me. So in this first screenshot, we have, the last message, presumably from the guy in question, sort of mourning her by messaging her thing. He goes, but you're not a plaque on a wall. This gives me more closure even. Fuck, we're nerds. I'm still finding your hair ties everywhere, and your bobby pins. I'm actually fairly sure they're breeding. Some of them still have hair on them.
Oh yes, that was me. Hello?
Who is this? It's really weird receiving messages from Emily's account. Okay, well, in the future, please send me messages from your account, even if you want to discuss her page.
Hello.
Oh wait, these were sent on my birthday. What the fuck? Susan, you're on Emily's account? This is when it began. I had left Emily's Facebook account activated so I could send her the occasional message, post on her wall, go through her pictures. It felt too final and too un-Emily to memorialize it. I share access with her mother, Susan, meaning her mother has her login and password and has spent a total of 3 minutes on the account, or total on a computer. After a little confusion, I thought it was her.
Hello. Let's rail this someday.
Who the fuck is this?
The wheels on the bus.
Please tell me who you are. I'd received confirmation from Susan that she hadn't been on M's profile since the week of her death. Em knew a lot of people, so I thought it was one of her tech-savvy friends fucking with me in the worst possible way. And then we have some old pictures here. Around February 2014, Emily started tagging herself in my photos. I would get notifications for them, but they'd normally be removed by the time I got to the picture. The first time I actually caught one, it felt like someone punched me in the gut. She would tag herself in spaces where it was plausible for her to be, or where she'd usually hang out. I've got screenshots of 2 from April and June. These are the only ones I've been able to catch, so they're a little out of the timeline I'm trying to write out. Around this time, I began to lose sleep. I was too angry to sleep. She would tag herself in random photos every couple of weeks. The friends who noticed it thought it was some fucked up bug. I found out recently that there have been friends who have noticed and didn't say anything about it. Some of them even removed me from their Facebook friends list. At this point, you may be wondering, why didn't you just kill your Facebook profile? I almost wish I did. I did for a little while. On days when I can't get out there, it's nice to have friends to chat with. It's nice visiting M's page when the little green dot isn't next to her name. I was already socially reclusive when M was alive. Her death turned me into something pretty close to a hermit, and Facebook and MMOs are my only real social outlets. Why are you doing this? Why do you keep tagging her? I sent what I assumed was M's hacker a message. On March 25th, I got an answer.
Hello? 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 Hello?
This is actually devastating. I don't know why you enjoy doing this.
Oh my god, someone sent candles.
Go to hell.
Why are you doing this?
It wasn't until a few months after going through these chats that I discovered that she was recycling my own words as well. My response seems kind of lackluster here. I was intentionally providing him with emotional bait. This is actually devastating, to keep them interested in their game. I was working off the assumption that the kind of person...
shit.
Yeah! I was working off the assumption that the kind of person who would do this is the kind of person that thrives off of the distress of others. Sorry, I was posting in tech forums, trying to find a way to find this person, contacting Mark Zuckerberg. I needed to keep them around to gather evidence.
This is really exciting. In the metaverse, your dead girlfriend can text you.
An engram of her personality. I had even changed the password and security details several times. I received this.
Why are you doing this? We should make our own jam. Jesus fucking Christ, Samantha. Nah, different. No chance of passing. No chance of passing. How many? Garage side door. Side. No chance of passing. April 29th, 2014. Baked beans on toast. I don't know. I just said, yo, ask Nathan. Nathan.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know how you're still doing this. Please stop.
Please stop. I don't know what's happening.
I hadn't discovered any leads. Facebook had told me the locations her page had been accessed from, but since her death, they're all places I can account for. My house, my work, her mom's house, etc. My response here wasn't bait. Yo, ask Nathan was an inside joke that's too lame worth explaining. But seeing her say it again was absolutely fucking crippling. My reaction in real life was much less prettier. Her last few messages have started to scare me, but I wouldn't admit until this point. May 8th, 2014. I don't even have words for this.
-12, -15. My jumper's in the dryer and it's really cold out. Really cold out. Cold. Nathan, please stop. Cold. Freezing. I don't know what's happening.
Freezing is the first original word she's said. This has given me nightmares that just won't end. I keep dreaming that she's in an ice-cold car, frozen, blue and gray. I'm standing outside the car door in the warmth, screaming for her to come out. She doesn't even realize I'm there. Sometimes her legs are outside with me. I'm really drunk. I miss you. Whoever's on this account, I don't give a fuck. I keep coming home from work and expecting to see you at the computer. Shouldn't I be used to that by now?
Just let me walk.
I wasn't really drunk. Em wasn't an affectionate girl, and always embarrassed her to exchange I love yous, cuddle, talk about how much we meant to each other. She was more comfortable with it when I was drunk. I pretended to be drunk a lot. Her reply is what prompted me to finally memorialize her page, thinking it might put an end to this. It might seem innocuous to a previous message. It's from an old conversation where I was trying to convince her to let me drive her home from a friend's house. In the collision, the dashboard crushed her. She was severed in a diagonal line from her right hip to midway down her left thigh. One of her legs was found tucked under the back seat. Gray Street somewhere. Hey, you on your way home? Emily. Emily, sorry. I got confused.
He's signing it with her name.
When you see this message, please
Yours truly.
Straight away. I rang blank and they said you left at 4. I'm starting to panic. I feel sick in my stomach. Please ring me. Emily, answer your phone. August 7th, 2012. Going back in time, these are the messages I sent her the day she died. She was usually home by 4:30. This, alongside a couple voicemails, is the last time I talked to her under the assumption that she was still alive. You'll see why I'm showing you these soon. July 1st, 2014. I got these messages yesterday.
Hey, you on your way home? Emily, when you see this message, please ring me. Straight away. Please stop. I rang blank and they said you left at 5. I'm starting to panic. Please stop. Cold. Emily, answer your phone. I don't know what's happening. Cold. Freezing.
I memorialized her page a few days after the message about walking. Until today, she'd been quiet. She hadn't even been tagging herself in my photos. I don't know what to do anymore. Do I kill her profile? What if it is her? I feel like I want to puke. I don't know what's happening. I just got notification. I heard the alert sound. I'm just too afraid to swap windows and check it. I checked the alert. I heard it as I was compiling all this together. This was the message.
Breathing.
That's my door. That's my computer. I got the message 3 hours ago, but I didn't want to check it until now. Now I'm legitimately scared. I have no idea who took this photo. I'm on my tablet in my garage, zen for now, going to drive to a friend's. Forgot to open the garage door in my panic, so building up the nerve to get out to do that now. I actually like this one. It's got spelling mistakes. It's not perfect, but I thought it was pretty good. It was, and for the time, I thought it was a really creative concept.
Yeah, for the 80s, this was pretty good.
Shut up. You know what I mean? This was like very early days of social media, like old ass Facebook.
Yeah, this is pre-metaverse.
Pre-metaverse. In the metaverse, put an engram of your fucking dead girlfriend's psyche into one of our avatars.
Hell yeah.
Oh, what's the third one you got, fucko?
The third one? Well, the third one I have is The Russian Sleep Experiment by an unknown author.
That is a throwback.
Did you read it?
A long-ass time ago I read it. I don't remember much about it. But now it's your turn.
Oh boy, I sure hope they let me be a sleepyhead in this one.
They would never make me do an experiment if they knew just how sleepy I was.
Well, as the deal goes, I will read this one.
Yeah, you better. This one's really long, too.
Russian researchers in the late 1940s kept 5 people awake for 15 days using experimental gas-based stimulants. They were kept in a sealed environment to carefully monitor their oxygen intake so the gas didn't kill them, since it was toxic in high concentrations. This was before closed-circuit cameras, so they had only microphones and 5-inch thick glass porthole-sized windows into the chamber to monitor them. The chamber was stocked with books, cots to sleep on but no bedding, running water and toilets. Running water and toilets. And enough dried food to last all 5 for a month. A running toilet.
I assume they meant plumbing. Running water and toilet.
A running toilet. The test subjects were political prisoners deemed enemies of the state during World War II. Everything was fine for the first 5 days. The subjects hardly complained, having been promised, falsely, that they would be freed if they submitted to the test and did not sleep for 30 days. The conversation activity class. The conversations and activities were monitored, and it was noted that they continued to talk about increasingly traumatic incidents in their pasts. Trauma dump. And the general tone of their conversations took on a darker aspect after the 4-day mark. I'm a ferret, I hate it when my clients trauma dump. It's like, get over it.
Have you seen that? Oh my god.
Yeah.
That made me feel things when I saw that on Twitter. I was like, this is why
That's so messed up.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
After 5 days, they started to complain about the circumstances and events that led them to where they were. I wouldn't have lasted 5 hours.
Yeah,
and started to demonstrate severe paranoia. They stopped talking to each other and began alternately whispering to the microphones in one-way mirrored portholes. Oddly, they all seemed to think they could win the trust of the experimenters by turning over their comrades, the other subjects in captivity with them. At first, the researchers suspected this was the effect of the gas itself. After 9 days, the first of them started screaming. He ran the length of the chamber, repeatedly yelling at the top of his lungs for 3 hours straight. He continued attempting to scream, but was only able to produce occasional squeaks. The researchers postulated that he had physically torn his vocal cords. The most surprising thing about his behaviour is how the other captors reacted to it, or rather didn't react to it. They continued whispering to the microphones until the second of the captors started to scream. The 2 non-screaming captives took the books apart, smeared page after page with their own feces, and pasted them calmly with the glass portholes. The screaming promptly stopped. So did the whispering to the microphones. After 3 more days passed, the researchers checked the microphones hourly to make sure they were working, since they thought it impossible that no sound could be coming with 5 people inside. The oxygen consumption in the chamber indicated that all 5 must still be alive. In fact, with the amount of oxygen 5 people would consume at a very heavy level of strenuous exercise. On the morning of the 14th day, the researchers did something they said they would not do to get a reaction from the captives. They used the intercom inside the chamber, hoping to provoke any response from the captives they were afraid were either dead or vegetables. They announced, "We are opening the chamber to test the microphones." That's French. "Step away from that door and lie flat on the floor or you will be shot. Compliance will earn each one of you your immediate freedom." To their surprise, they heard a single phrase in a calm voice response. "We no longer want to be freed." Oh my god, it's him.
What's that voice? It sounds familiar that you just did.
I think it's the Oxcast. It's your phone.
Hello, Simon.
Hello.
It's me, Honeydew.
Debate broke out among the researchers and the military forces funding the research. What was the purpose of this research again?
I don't know, man.
You would just do wacky shit?
Maybe it was like, let's see if we can viably keep soldiers up for long periods of time or something.
It was like, imagine the pitch. It's like, we want to make them stay awake for 4 days. Like, why? Why should we, the military, fund this?
It can be extremely advantageous if you never
have to sleep.
It means you can't get caught off guard.
Unable to provoke any... Just people like Blackbeard. Unable to provoke any more response using the intercom, it was finally decided to open the chamber at midnight on the 15th day. The chamber was flushed of the stimulant gas and filled with fresh air, and immediately voices from the microphones began to object. 3 different voices began begging, as if pleading for the life of loved ones to turn the gas back on. The chamber was opened and soldiers sent in to retrieve the test subjects. They began to scream louder than ever, and so did the soldiers when they saw what was inside. 4 of the 5 subjects were still alive, although no one could rightly call the state that any of them in life. The food rations past day 5 had not been so much as touched. There were chunks of meat from the dead test subjects' thighs and chests stuffed into the drain in the centre of the chamber, blocking the drain, allowing 4 inches of water to accumulate on the floor. Precisely how much of the water on the floor was actually blood was never determined. All 4 surviving test subjects also had large portions of muscle and skin torn away from their bodies. The destruction of flesh and exposed bone on the fingertips indicated that the wounds were inflicted by hand, not with teeth as the researchers initially thought. Closer examination of the position and angles of the wounds indicate that most, if not all of them, were self-inflicted. This is very proto-SCP, I'm realising.
Yeah, it really is.
The abdominal organs below the ribcage of all 4 test subjects had been removed, while the heart, lungs and diaphragm remained in place. The skin and most of the muscle attached to the rib had been ripped off, exposing the lungs through the ribcage. Imagine going out with your lungs showing. Harlot.
Damn. Wasn't there an image associated with this?
Probably like a spooky, the rape guy.
Yeah.
All the blood vessels and organs remained intact. They had just been taken out and laid on the floor, fanning out around the eviscerated but still living bodies of the subjects. The digestive tract of all 4 could be seen to be working, digesting food. It quickly became apparent that what they were digesting was their own flesh that they had ripped off and eaten over the course of days. Most of the soldiers were Russian special operatives at the facility, but still many refused to return to the chamber to remove the test subjects. They continued to scream to be left in the chamber, and alternately begged and demanded that the gas be turned back on, lest they fall asleep. To everyone's surprise, the test subjects put up a fierce fight in the process of being removed from the chamber. One of the Russian soldiers died from having his throat ripped out. Another was gravely injured by having his testicles ripped off. I'm sorry, that's not funny.
Jesus. That's actually hilarious. I don't think it's hilarious.
And an artery in his leg severed by one of the subjects teed off fucking mauled. Another 5 of the soldiers lost their lives, if you count ones that committed suicide in the weeks following the testicle incidents. That's from seeing that. It's not like the horrible.
That should be the spin-off creepypasta of this one, is the testicle incident.
We will see what happens if we turn off your balls. In the struggle, one of the 4 living subjects had his spleen ruptured and he bled out almost immediately. The medical researchers attempted to sedate him, but this proved impossible. He was injected with more than 10 times the human dose of a morphine derivative and still fought like a cornered animal, breaking the ribs and arm of one doctor. When heart was seen to beat for a full 2 minutes after he bled out, to the point there was more air in his vascular system than blood. Even after it stopped, he continued to scream and flail for another 3 minutes, struggling to attack anyone in reach and just repeating the word "more" over and over, weaker and weaker, until he finally fell silencio.
Damn.
The surviving 3 test subjects were heavily restrained and moved to a medical facility. The 2 with intact vocal cords continuously begging for the gas, demanding to be kept awake. Most injured of the 3 was taken to the only surgical operating room that the facility had. Kind of an oversight, this is a medical facility. In the process of preparing the subject to have his organs placed back within his body. Brave choice. I don't know if I would be that optimistic, to be honest.
Yeah, I think...
It was... He's going to get back to an ordinary life after this. We got to get him ready.
Give him one good night's sleep. He's like, oh, sorry, I was a little cranky.
I was not myself.
You're not you and you're sleepy, am I right?
It was found that he was effectively immune to the sedative they had given him to prepare him for the surgery. When they tried to put him to sleep, he said, I need to stay on that grind.
This guy's a Sigma.
Well, Leorio feels like me when they try and give me the sedatives.
What up at the after party?
New incomprehensible meme.
Just saying things.
He fought furiously against his restraints when the anesthetic gas was brought out to put on an anomalous search Hunter x Hunter Leorio face meme, and just put the first result here if it's like 10 seconds long. That will explain everything.
Yeah. Put someone else's meme in our video, please. It will be
He managed to tear his most of the way through a 4-inch wide leather strap on one wrist, even though the weight of a 200-pound soldier holding that wrist as well. It took only a little more anesthetic than normal to put it under, and the instant his eyelids fluttered and closed, his heart stopped. In the autopsy of the test subject that died on the operating table, it was found that his blood had tripled the normal level of oxygen.
Holy
his
shit.
Muscles... This guy's an alpha. His muscles that were still attached.
This guy's a fucking oxygen Chad.
It's like a comparison, like sleepy heads and oxygen chads.
I'm breathing maxing. Jesus Christ.
It's like the people wanted to like shouting.
I want a series of Russian sleep experiment memes.
His muscles that were still attached to his skeleton were badly torn, and he had broken 9 bones in his struggle not to be subdued. Most of them were from the force his own muscles had exerted on him. He's like fucking Survivor from JoJo.
He's getting so strong.
He's dead, he's not getting stronger anymore.
Oh, true.
The second survivor had been the first of the group of 5 to start screaming. His vocal cords destroyed, he was unable to beg or object to surgery, and he only reacted by shaking his head violently in disapproval when the anesthetic gas was brought near him. He shook his head yes when someone suggested, reluctantly, they try the surgery without anesthetic, and did not react to the entire 6-hour procedure of replacing his abdominal organs and attempting to cover them with what remained of his skin. The subject presiding stated repeatedly that it should be medically possible for this patient to still be alive. Well, yeah, he is alive, so I imagine that's meant to say impossible. It's like the dude's just like, this is normal. He should still be alive.
It's not normally possible, but it is medically possible.
One terrified nurse assisting the surgery stated that he had seen the patient's mouth curl into a smile several times whenever his eyes met hers. Oh, that's cute.
He likes you.
He likes you.
He passes her a note. It's like, will you go out with me? Yes, no.
Go out with me or I fall asleep. When the surgery ended, the subject looked at the surgeon and began to wheeze loudly, attempting to talk while struggling. Assuming this must be something of drastic importance, the surgeon had a pen and pad fetched so the patient could write his message. It was simple. Keep cutting. Leorio face.
Jesus Christ. Every time Tan says Leorio face, put that on the screen, please, Anomalous.
The other 2 test subjects were given the same surgery, both without anaesthetic as well. Although they had to be injected with a paralytic for the duration of the operation. The subject found it impossible to perform the operation while the patients laughed continuously. Oh my god, it's me!
These guys are so crazy!
I can't help but laugh as well.
What 0 sleep does to a motherfucker.
Once paralysed, the subjects could only follow the attending researchers with their eyes. The paralytic cleared their system in an abnormally short period of time. They were soon trying to escape their vans. The moment they could speak, they were again asking for the stimulant gas. The researchers tried asking why they had injured themselves, why had they ripped out their own guts, and why they wanted to be given the gas again. Only one response was given. I must remain awake, Leorio face.
My God.
All 3 subjects' restraints were reinforced and were placed back into the chamber, awaiting determination as to what should be done with them. The researchers, facing the wrath of their military benefactors for having failed the stated goals of their project, considered euthanizing the surviving subjects. The commanding officer, an ex-KGB, instead saw potential and wanted to see what happened if they were put back on the gas. The researchers strongly objected, but were overruled.
What the fuck?
Oh, in preparation, what potential for what? It's like,
it's like fucking anime. He's like the glint in his eye. He's like, no, these guys, they can go above and beyond.
So that phenomenon has begun, huh?
I see in them the smoldering embers of potential.
Aether!
Yeah, they unlock their aether. You have to stay awake 30 days.
What preparation for being...
What happens in aetheril space if you stay awake for 30 days?
I assume nothing good.
Can you use an aether ability to make yourself not have to sleep?
Yeah.
Why doesn't everyone have that ability?
Because you have to, develop it.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's kind of hard.
People like sleeping.
That's true. I love sleeping. God, I want to be asleep right now.
Depression, be like.
Yeah, it's sad but true.
In preparation for being sealed in the chamber again, the subjects were connected to an EEG monitor and had their restraints padded for long-term confinement. To everyone's surprise, all 3 stopped struggling the moment it was let slip that they were going back on the gas. It was obvious that at this point, all 3 were putting up a great struggle to stay awake. One of the subjects that could speak was humming loudly and continuously. The mute subject was straightening his legs against the leather bonds with all his might, first left, then right, then left again for something to focus on. The remaining subject was holding his head off his pillow and blinking rapidly. Having been the first to be wired for EEG, most of the researchers were monitoring his brainwaves in surprise. They were normal most of the time, but sometimes flatlined inexplicably. It looked as if he were repeatedly suffering brain death before returning to normal. As they focused on paper scrolling out the brainwave monitors, only one nurse saw his eyes slip shut at the same time his head hit the pillow. The brainwaves immediately changed to that of deep sleep, then flatlined for the last time as his heart simultaneously stopped. Sleepyheads! Oh, you going to bed, sleepyheads?
They must have realized that if they fall asleep now, they'll die. They were awake too long. The kickback.
The only remaining subject that could speak started screaming to be sealed in now. His brainwaves showed the same flatlines of one who had just died from falling asleep. The commander gave the order to seal the chamber with both subjects inside, as well as 3 researchers. One of the named 3 immediately drew his gun and shot the commander point blank between the eyes, then turned the gun on the mute subject and blew his brains out as well. Holy...
What?
He's like, you stay in here with them, and they immediately pulled out a gun and killed him.
Yeah, he's like, nope.
Leorio stir. He pointed his gun at remaining subjects, still restrained to a bed as the remaining members of the medical and research team fled the room. I won't be locked in here with these things! Not with you! He screamed at the man strapped to the table. What are you? He demanded. I must know!
And then we'll start putting the Sigma music on as we read this next part.
The subject smiled. Have you forgotten so easily? The subject asked. We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you all, begging to be free at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate in silence and paralysis when you go to the nocturnal haven where we cannot tread.
We laugh at this, but this is straight up like some Series 1 ass line. No fucking SCP.
The researcher paused, then aimed at the subject's heart and fired. The EEG flatlined as the subject weakly choked out. So nearly free.
Aaron Yeager?
What are you doing, researcher? Did you forget why you came here?
They were about to unlock Titan mode. Oh my goodness. Those were really fun, and I'm glad we read them. I'm sorry I didn't have much commentary. I was just having so much fun listening and reading. So I'm not sure, I don't know. I love when we do creepypastas. There's such a nice break from SCP stuff. They are very fun.
Yeah, I expected this would take longer, to be honest.
Yeah, we're only 45 minutes in. We don't have that many comments. Is there a super short one we could read?
I don't know.
That's okay. By the time we would find one, it would probably go over anyway. We can just have a short episode this time around. Oh,
Okay.
there's the picture. Okay, you have to scroll down a bit in the comments, Tan, but the one from 5/5/2022. Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about? That was the picture that was like always associated.
He's
with
so
that.
coy.
Yeah, he's like, ugh. I think that was supposed to be the guy who was getting operated on and smiled at the nurse.
The master star to has figured it out. He says it's fake.
Yeah. No, you're telling me.
He's broke the case.
Can't believe this. Oh man. Do you want to do the sleep experiment with me?
I've been doing it here.
How many days in are you?
How long have we been doing the podcast?
Just 2 years. I'm
There you
free.
go. If you don't sleep for long enough, you become me. Your bed begins to become round.
This explains a lot. To the after party. This podcast is just going to become me making Anomalous put like fucking 2015 Vine memes and like old song memes in here.
I like this one. That was very unsettling. 9.9 out of 10.
Hell yes. You go, nickel and dime king.
The only thing I'm confused about is why exactly did the prisoners want the gas and to be awake so you didn't get the story then?
I mean, it was very clear if they slept, they died. And it feels like they understood that.
Is it bad? I would totally recreate this experiment if I could.
I'm just sick and fucked up. I love that a lot of these comments are like from 2022 too.
Hold on, what the fuck is going on? There's another one. I have read a lot of creepypasta on this webpage, and this is the most creepy one so far. 9.9 out of 10.
I'm telling
Why is it all 9.9 out of 10?
No one wants to give a 10 out of 10 because that just shows you're too simple. 9.9 shows that your expectations can go even higher. I could read
this
the
was
story
very interesting to read. I have read this before, but it still gives me the chills. I feel really bad for the people in the 1940s. They had to stay awake for 15 days with no sun and gas continuously to keep them awake. The phrasing of that is just really funny.
Why are these
like
all
everyone
so
in the
recent?
1940s had to do it.
I love reading the creepypasta fandom wiki comments because it's like
It's so
going
much more
back to
pure than the
2012.
SCP wiki.
Exactly, and it's like going back to 2012, like nothing has changed. It's like, holy shit. Oh man, I kind of want to read more creepypastas, but we should probably just go read our comments now. Let me refresh just to make sure there's not any new ones.
I'm just here for the creepypasta comments, really.
Yeah, honestly, that's the best part. We could do a whole episode of just that. Okay, we only have 8 comments.
Well, us Americans don't have such weaknesses. We have so many YouTubers that stay awake for days. They would have completed in a heartbeat. Russian sleep experiment, Mr. Beast. I brought 30 of my subscribers to stay awake for 30 days. Here's what happens.
You get $1,000 for every day you stay awake. Good luck. Does anyone actually watch Mr. Beast? Everyone talks about and references him, but I nor anyone I know.
I sort
watches
of
Mr.
witness him in passing.
Yeah. It always just like comes across your vision. I don't like. I'm not like, oh, Mr. Beast video out.
Wonder why this isn't called the Soviet sleep experiment. It was apparently done in the Soviet era, so why do you care? It's still in Russia.
How about the get ratioed era? Alright, it's time to read some comments. Are you ready, Tanhony?
Oh yeah, sorry, I was absorbed in these better comments.
It's so true. Can you guys step up your game, please, in our comment section? I want you to comment like creepypasta wiki.
That's the password. Comment like one of these fucking ones from the fucking...
Yeah, good luck. Let's see if you guys can handle it.
The very conceptual password this time.
Alright, Night Labbit says, bump? Thanks, Night Labbit.
Thank you for the bump.
Sobek says, today on fake SCP news, Tanhony listens to the voices, Darnell
Not
psychically disintegrates his Ethernet connection, and Gleamore takes Australia.
You had a dream, right? That you in your dream you destroyed your internet connection and you woke up and it was destroyed. That's like a creepy
So
pasta.
I had a dream the night before last that I was like tearing Ethernet cables from the wall and twisting them, and there was like exposed wire. And then I woke up at like 4 a.m. My internet wouldn't work, and I rebooted it. And I did everything, I messed with the Ethernet cable, everything, and then eventually we came to the conclusion that somehow, inexplicably, for no reason, my Ethernet ports were, destroyed on the router and modem, and I had to get them replaced. They just weren't
What do you
working.
think? Did he awaken his powers in his sleep?
Maybe the power to destroy my own internet. I was probably trying to take away someone else's internet, because let's be real, most of y'all need to get off the internet. I was probably trying to save you guys like a superhero. Okay. Real comment. You guys should read The Russian Sleep Experiment. It's short and a classic early creepypasta. I have great news. I have great news for you, Sobek. Comedy Man Kelp says, anyone else find it rather bizarre how Tanhony suddenly has a wacky talking skeleton sidekick named Tanhony with no explanation?
Tamboni. You missed the
joke. Sorry. I can't read. I was in The Russian Sleep Experiment, okay? Tanboni with no explanation. Sure, it was really funny when they got to a scary part of Godzilla Nest, and Tanboni said, oh man, this is really rattling my bones. But still, where did this guy come from?
Hey, you got a bone to pick with me?
I want a meme of that tweet. It's sorry, I don't care about the Russian sleep experiment. My father opening the door was my Russian sleep experiment every day for 20 years or whatever. Oregon Stream quotes, does it taste good when you bite a woman? Sounds like something I would say. I lost it.
I hope you find it.
Yeah, I hope you find it too. JTKC says, wowie, new video? Yeah. Guari SCP writes, creepy spooky pastas. Edit. The way Darnell pronounces Biolante is hilarious. What a fool. What an idiot he is. I hope you read Ted the Caver. It is amazing and probably the first creepypasta ever. Also, I recently wrote a Pairwatch set in the Aces and Eights canon, Ghost Riders in the Sky, so I'm obviously wrecking it. I think Internet Historian did a version of, the real story that Ted the Caver was based on. Did you see that yet, Tan?
The Internet Historian video?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, that was so fucking good. I was, gripped the whole time, dude. An Anomalous Writer says, breaking news! In a week I will be releasing my next big video project. Yes, this is very totally real, wink. Comment, seems like we entered the creepypasta arc. Wowza. I don't know if that's you hinting at the one you already made, or if you mean another big one's coming out, but I'm very excited for you, Anomalous. Yeah. I've decided I'm not going to be funny this whole month because I'm too engrossed in the creepypastas. I'm just going to enjoy them.
The Russian no funny experiment.
Yeah, the Russian no jokes experiment. Oh, lordy. Alright, well, I think that's everything,
Lordy
right?
Lord.
Oh, lordy lord. Is there anything else
bless your heart.
Is there anything else you need to announce or that we need to go over that before we close this off?
Nothing I can think of. I'm going to be doing the Russian sleep challenge for the next month.
Yeah. Hey, guys, we're going to do Russian Sleep October, which is where you don't sleep for the whole month.
And awaken the darkness within.
Yeah, the madness inside all human beings. When does it actually...
About it as well.
When does it kick in? It seemed like day 5, right? Or day 9?
I guess so. That's when you go sicko mode.
Day 9's when you shit on the books and put them on your windows.
Yeah. To mess with the researchers.
It's so gross.
I would never do that.
I would never wipe my shit on the windows. Okay, yeah, I think that's everything. We will see you guys next time then. Bye!
Bye!